What is going on, guys? So today I'm coming at you with one of my little thought videos where I kind of just want to talk about something that just hit my brain as of recently, and I figured I would make a video on it. And that is kind of like, in the army, in the military, anything is possible and nothing is possible. So obviously in this video I'm going to explain a little bit more of what I mean by saying nothing is possible and anything is possible. And what I'm talking about in the gist of that is, a lot of people ask me questions about, can you do this? Can you do this? Is this going to be something possible that I can do later in my future military career? Is this something that I can do, right? And yes and no. Sometimes there are things that can be waived. Sometimes you kind of just have to know the right person. Sometimes you just have to be a really good soldier. Sometimes you have to be right place, right time, right uniform. Just be, lucky, right? So that's kind of what I mean by that. Sometimes you just have to be lucky. There's a lot of people who, if you didn't get airborne in your contract, if you're wanting to go to Ranger School, if you're wanting to possibly go and join the 75th Ranger Regiment, but you didn't get an option for you if you're in your contract. Maybe you're wanting to go Specialist Forces later in your career. There's all these other cool things that people want to do in the military, and they will ask me, can you switch from reserves to active? Can you switch from, to a different unit or something like that? Can you do all of these different things? And what I mean when I say everything is possible and nothing is possible, it's kind of up to you. So in the normal civilian world, there will be all these circumstances and stuff that happen. If you were to ask your parents or your teachers in high school or something, or your college professor, is this something possible that I could do in my career? And it may be something that's just super outlandish to where it's just ridiculous, but on the civilian side, people are like, yeah, follow your dreams, anything is possible. But in the military, it's the same way, but then you always have to have that person's signature at the end of the day. If you want to basically do anything, if you want to go anywhere, essentially you're gonna have to have somebody sign off on you going to that school, going to that place, getting deployed if you want to request deployment or whatever. You're gonna have to get somebody to sign off on that, which means that it could be impossible. It could not be possible because that person just doesn't want to do that. And so what I want to say in this video is, your military career is your military career, right? So just because something happened to somebody else does not mean that that's going to happen to you. Just because something didn't happen to somebody else does not mean that that's not going to happen to you. You are in charge of a lot of the things. Honestly, a lot of the things that happen to you in the military are kind of up to you. You might have bad leadership, and depending on how you react to that will make a big impact on not only how you feel in the military, but it'll make an impact on how your career progression goes, right? So if you are proactive in all these things, if you want to be that go-getter, if you want to be that person to where everything is possible, you kind of really have to have that go-get-it attitude of wanting to do good on basically everything. You want to obviously do good on your PT test. You want to do good on your marksmanship training and stuff like that. You don't want to do anything stupid. You don't want to be getting any Article 15s or anything. You want to be right place, right time, right uniform, right? Military is a lot about the basics. If you can just get the basics right, and that is really just not doing anything stupid, doing what you're told. If people tell you to do something, you actually do it. A lot of that gets you kind of put on the good side of people. It's kind of like this, I guess, in the entire world. But when you kind of get on somebody's bad side, you're just stuck on their bad side, right? And a lot of times you might not be able to get away from, you got that person up above you who's in charge of you, who you did something really stupid, and now they kind of just associate you with that stupid thing, right? So you don't want that to be you. You want to avoid all that stupid stuff. You want to avoid all those things so that when the time comes for you to actually have the opportunity, or when the opportunity comes to you, you don't want that person looking at you be like, oh my gosh, this person did something really stupid before or whatever. You don't want that to kind of bite you in the butt, right? So if you kind of do all the right things in a way, if you are a good soldier, if you abide by all the Army values and things like that, in my opinion, everything is possible, right? There's a lot of things that I've seen in the military where there are ways around just about everything. There's a lot of things that are kind of set in soft stone, right? So you can kind of push the stone, squish the stone. It's not set in stone, it's set in some kind of weird soft clay that can be molded in very certain circumstances, right? So there are things, the way the military works, it could be impossible. Like, it could be legitimately impossible until it's not. For example, let's say you want to go to airborne school. Your unit does not have any airborne school slots, right? They just don't have any. And so that means that for you, it's impossible. For you in that unit, it is impossible until it's not. Until that person who can actually do something, you know, does something to help you out, right? So if, let's say another unit has extra airborne slots. Maybe everybody's been to airborne school. They have 10 extra, you know, slots where they can send people to airborne school. Well, technically, I'm not sure about the paperwork and stuff around behind this, but I know that it is possible to kind of transfer over those airborne slots or whatever, and then you could end up going. So what was once impossible, after a little bit of work from somebody who, you know, would do something for you because you were a good soldier and you kind of deserve it in a way, then it becomes possible, and then everything is possible. And I will say probably the easiest, like, 2 ways to make a lot more things possible, especially when you are a lower enlisted soldier, is going to those boards and going to, like, the best warrior competition. Those things are going to, like, propel you. Like, if you win those, if you win a soldier of the, well, at base training you have like soldier of the cycle or whatever, but I'm talking about in the real army, if you win like a soldier of the year board where you go in front of a board and you win that, if you go to a best warrior competition and you end up winning that at whatever level, those higher ups, those sergeant majors, those people are gonna be like, hey, private, what do you want to do? What do you want to go to airborne school? Do you want to go to air assault school? You know, tell me what you want to do. No, they may not say it exactly like that, but in a gist of it, they're gonna be like, hey, do you want to go to airborne school? Do you want to go to air assault school? So if that's something that you want to do, you need to put yourself in the position to open up those doors. But if you kind of just, you know, wander around and you just kind of do the basics of stuff and you just do the bare minimum, you don't show any initiative, you don't actually introduce yourself to higher ups. I know it can be really scary. I know it can be really scary, but you know, that first sergeant who, or company commander who's got to approve all that stuff for you, if they don't know who you are, which hopefully they do if they're your company commander or whatever, but if they don't like really know who you are, if they don't really know you as a good soldier, right, you know, it's going to be, you know, a lot easier for them to not approve those things for you. But if they know of you as a good soldier, as a go-getter, as somebody who kind of goes around and is like, hey, is there anything I need to do, you know, that is going to make you much more likely to have everything be possible. And then obviously at the end of this video, I gotta throw in there that you could just be stuck between an actual rock and a hard place and not have some maneuverability, and that honestly kind of sucks a little bit. There's nothing that you can really do about it. You know, your military experience is gonna be different than somebody else's military experience. Like I said, you know, just because something happens or doesn't happen to somebody else does not mean that's going to happen or not happen to you. In your unit or whatever, you'll figure it out once you kind of get there, but by being a good soldier, it's going to open up a lot more doors for you. So that's it for this little thought rambling video. That's literally all this is just me kind of rambling on about a topic that I have been thinking about. So I hope, you know, maybe if you made it to this video, it helped you out, you liked it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell button, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat if you haven't already. But yeah, I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope you guys have an amazing freaking day, and I will see you later.